Hello, friends and foes, fays and fiends, and welcome to Quests and Chaos. I am your GM for the evening, Alondra Heilman, aka Lady Bedivere, and tonight we are bringing you a brand new show because we are going to be playing Keys from the Golden Vault, which is the latest release from Wizards of the Coast. Sorry, not sorry. We weren't going to play it, but I love heists, so we're going to do a bunch of heists. In addition to being a bunch of heists, we're going to do something a little different than what you may have seen before with us on this series, because we're going to have a rotating cast. Just like in a heist movie, we're going to get a different crew together for every adventure. So let's meet the crew for this adventure really quick. We're going to just go around, starting over here with you, Thomas.
Is this my camera? It is! Hi! Hello, I am Thomas, he, him. It is nice to be here.
Cheryle, she, they.
I am Laura, pronouns are she, her.
I'm Cal, pronouns they, them.
Welcome, everyone. Now, tonight, before we get started, we're going to take care of a quick bit of business. You all are used to this. We got to shout out a couple friends of the channel. First and foremost being our friends Nord Games. They make a lot of really awesome system-agnostic supplements that we like to use in these games, especially me, because I don't like following the set rules. I like adding new things in. So I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot of Nord Game stuff in here, and if you want to get some Nord Game supplements, some cool card decks, some spectacular settlements or treacherous traps for your home table, you can use our affiliate link, nordgamesllc.com/3.html. Yes, it's a mouthful. I'm sorry. Thank you for the dab. You can use that link to get some cool stuff for your table and give us a little kickback. We are also sponsored tonight, of course, by The Deck of Inspiration, designed by our very own Thomas Cook, and now available at shop.questsandchaos.com. So if you missed our Kickstarter, you can get your own copies. You might see that I have two different cards with me tonight. That's because in addition to having the traditional Deck of Inspiration, I was handed a Deck of Uninspiration before the game started. So who knows? If they get wild and crazy enough at this table, we might see some weird cards tonight.
Oh.
TBD. Leading off from cards, we do have some cards that were gifted to us by the wonderful members of our community. We have one card from Squeal the Bard to me.
Boo.
Oh, no, this is appropriate because I got the iteration of my least favorite card. Eagle Splendor. Drinking this tonic grants the user advantage on charisma checks for 10 minutes. The tonic of charm will not leave me alone. It haunts me to this day, even though it's not called that anymore. We also have 3 cards from NGC 457.
Ooh.
2 for the players, and 1 for me.
Ooh.
So I'll hand you guys these 2, and you can look at them and then decide who is going to get them. Again, we're changing this up a little bit now, so each player has to lay claim to a card, has that card in their hand, and then as you use it, you can draw from a pool. So take a look.
Over on this side, we have boosted regen, which if we get into combat, heals you every round.
Wow.
My actual favorite card.
Who's the squishiest of us?
All of us. We are level 1.
We have a boosted adrenaline. As a reaction, you take half damage from any magical or non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing attack.
Really?
Cool.
Nice.
I-
Have at it. Have at it.
Do we have a wizard?
Please.
Do we have a
No.
sorcerer?
We have a sorcerer.
We do have a
This
sorcerer.
is for Laura.
So yeah, we have to choose who gets
Yeah.
Who
these.
wants the adrenaline boost?
Let me
Who's
see.
going to be
I mean,
up
you're
front
gonna be-
and
You
funny?
guys are going to get one more card in a moment here, so we should probably go ahead and make sure that you
Okay.
guys get that, and then you guys can finish deliberating. Because Cheesecake Fries also sent 1 card to the players. One card to the GM. I trust Cheryle shuffled these really well, but I'm drawing poorly, so we're just gonna.
You can just say.
No.
Whoa, hello.
Ooh.
It's
That was
meant
enough.
to be. What is it? Time out. Choose a creature within 60 feet. That creature is paralyzed until the end of their next turn.
Ooh, that could be handy.
I like
I
that.
feel like I would be in 60 feet of a monster.
Okay.
If there was one.
Okay.
Sure.
I like
Anybody want to lay claim to boosted adrenaline?
Please, Cal.
Are you? I guess me.
Yeah.
I'm a little squish.
I love the implication that nobody else is going to get within 60 feet of the monster. The monster's just going to run in, and everybody else is going to be like, nope, we're good.
I'm fine. Thanks.
And then I, in addition to my previous card, have boosted bomb and safety oil. So, I'm sure I will have no use
That's the opposite of dangerous oil.
It is, in fact. As an action, you may apply this oil to skin or set of armor, granting it a +1 magical bonus to AC for 1 minute.
Oh, wow.
So, if anybody whips out some dangerous oil, you just counter that. All right, and last up in the housekeeping, before we get to finding out who all these wonderful folks are playing, we have some bits. Bits. First up, we have 1,000 bits from Duke Fleeg to the players. We're gonna go this way. I keep defaulting to the other side.
Oh no.
Sorry, that was me. We also have 500 bits from Tamago Tora to the players. We've got bits stuck down in my box that I can't access. Sorry, guys. 500 from Slimy Tove to the players.
Whoa.
It's not even a Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have 500 bits from J Matthews 85 to Vlad.
Oh yeah! Thank you.
I'm going to check and see if I missed any while I was talking about things. No, looks like that's it for now, which is great. It's the beginning of the month, so our tavern upkeep is about 50%. Thank you all for supporting us. And now, I think it is time for us to do a heist. Or at least start talking about a heist. In order to talk about a heist, we have to talk about the Golden Vault. The Golden Vault is a secretive organization headquartered somewhere in the distant Outer Plains, and rumored to be affiliated to an enclave of metallic dragons, hence the name. They have operatives on the material plane who are always on the lookout for adventurers who won't be afraid of taking on a bit of illegal or underhanded work, so long as it's in support of an underdog or good cause that perhaps can't be handled by traditional means. And here tonight we have 4 such contacts. Folks who, whether it's because of a sense of justice, some personal vested interest, or just because they want to make a quick buck, might be willing to get their hands just a little dirty for the right cause or the right price. First, today, this fine day, as I get to my actual correct notes. First, today, we meet Stuart. Stuart, what would you be doing at like 3 in the afternoon on just like a normal average Monday? Where would we find you? And to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Stuart Shonnery is he would be hanging about the streets, seeing what's going on, finding the lowdown, slipping in and out of accents. As you do.
The best way to keep them off your tail.
Yes. He's as a former member of the Watch, he knows where Watch hideouts are and where, maybe some shady places are, and he might be looking to, just keep an eye on the city and see what's going on.
Stuart does like to keep his ear to the ground, and having formerly been in the Watch, knows the best places to do that and the people to talk to. And today, as you're lurking about in the streets, you notice that someone is approaching you. Probably not that usual, not anymore, not when you're not in uniform, where people can come up and ask you for directions like they used to. But you see a young woman, barely over 5 feet tall, all bundled up in robes to fight off that little bit of chill in this shadowy area. And you recognize her. This is Mira Rahir. She's a clerk at the city council. you worked with her before, getting paperwork, picking things up, dropping things off. She's always been very nice. And you get the sense that she's one of the good ones, which you probably can't say about most people who work at City Hall these days. But you notice that she is making a beeline directly toward you.
I'm gonna look around and make sure that there's nobody suspicious around me. Maybe keeping an eye on me.
Give me a perception check, because this isn't a Alondra game, and anyone who's played with me before knows that I notoriously forget to have people roll dice because I get very into the role play. So we're just gonna start
Let's
off
just
strong.
say it's not good. You know what? I don't even have my character up.
Okay.
So.
Maybe that is why you're a former member of Watch.
15. I'm gonna say
Wow.
15, but that's probably a lie. Let's just say 13.
13?
Let's go
Okay,
with 13,
13.
for now.
That's fine. No one's immediately jumping out as obviously watching you or obviously being shady, so you're probably fine. You know, it's 3 p.m. on a Monday. How shady is anyone really being at 3 p.m. on a Monday? You're about to find out as
All right.
Mira walks up to you.
Mira, what is the problem?
Stuart, I was...
Don't run for a Red October. No, that's not it. No. Shonnery. Stuart Shonnery.
Stuart, I was really hoping I might find you here. I know it's been a minute. I haven't really seen you since you left the Watch, but there's this thing that's kind of come up. It's been making the rounds, and that I thought you might want to know about.
Well, certainly.
So are you? This is a little bit. This might be a little bit. Are you familiar with the university? Did you ever, or the museum? Did you ever work at either of those places?
I've kept watch it. I've shown. No. Maybe I should have practiced. I've kept watch at both of those locations.
Oh, good. So you're familiar. So I my moms know this professor at Varkenbluff University, who sometimes works at the museum, and she came through asking me about some paperwork and things the other day, and she seemed really agitated, and I feel like maybe you could help her with what she's dealing with. And as she says that, you see she's kind of holding her tablet of papers that is just standard, all city clerks and always have these little courier parcels and these stacks of papers. You see that she sort of takes the top paper and just, like she's fidgeting, flips it over, and you see printed on the bottom of the sheet of paper is the outline of a golden key. And she sort of looks at you and just sort of taps it, and then tips her head a little, goes, maybe you could come with me over to the pub, and we could go for a drink, and I could introduce you to somebody who could get you in touch with the professor.
Yes, I've not had a drink for a few hours now.
Oh, perfect. Happy hour should be starting right around when we get there. So
Yes.
I'll walk you over. And she flips the paper back over, hiding the symbol, and starts leading the way.
Have I seen that symbol before?
You have. You have seen the symbol before. Once before, you were approached by a very sketchy little gnome dude who gave you a business card with this thing printed on, said he'd be in touch because the world needed more people who were out to fight the corruption and kick their asses, was his exact phrase. And then he skittered off into the gutter. You assumed he was maybe crazy. Mira, is pretty solid, so this seems like maybe you should have listened to the weird gnome guy. Hard to tell in the city these days.
Oh, when you're day drinking.
Anything can happen, right? And so as you and Mira head off to go find your next day drink, afternoon drink, happy hour drink, we move to another part of the city. Probably an equally shadowy part of the city, because we are going to go find Vlad. Vlad, what would you be doing at 3 p.m. on a Monday?
Oh, Glenda! I would probably probably sleeping a little. You know, Vlad has slight sensitivity to sunlight. You know, the skin condition where if sunlight touches skin, I just burn a little. Totally normal human thing. There is a word for it, sunburn, duh.
It's photosensitive.
Exactly. So Vlad is staying inside or out of sunlight.
Wonderful. You are inside in, you know, your apartment, whatever it is that you're, where it is that you've been staying these days. And you hear, it's technically a knock on the door, but it's odd, because it seems like it's at the bottom of the door.
Okay, well, I open door.
You open the door, and you see, sitting in front of your door, a small black and white rabbit. Its butt is toward you because it was clearly kicking the door with its back feet, which was the knocking sound.
Oh, hello, little bunny rabbit.
The rabbit turns around and grins at you with a mouthful of the sharpest teeth you have ever seen.
Oh, you are a cousin?
The rabbit kind of looks at you, scampers over to, you see now there is also like a parcel bag about the same size as the rabbit that is sitting on the floor, grabs it very delicately with its front horrifying teeth, and just kind of drags it over and plops it at your feet, and then just kind of sits there looking at you.
Okay, strong silent type, I like that. And so Vlad will pick it up and open the bag.
You pick it up and you open the bag, and inside the bag you see 5 gold
Oh.
and a rolled up note.
Okay.
You unroll the note, and you see emblazoned on the top a golden key, and written underneath is a note that says, I know you prefer working solo, but this time we're going to need you on a team. Meet us at Sage's Quill Tavern at 4 p.m.
Okay, well, it looks like it's first day of work, and they did not listen to Vlad when I said I needed to wait till sundown, so I guess I get the uniform on. And Vlad pulls out, he does have a uniform, or they do have a uniform for when they do have to go out in the sun, which is completely cover everything. So Vlad will be putting on their outfit to make it to the 4 p.m.
You suit up. The rabbit sits in the hallway and just hangs out to wait for you.
Okay, oh, little guy, you waited for me. Okay, well, let's make this quick. This outfit is not very comfortable in these summer months.
You could swear the bunny winks at you and goes scampering off down the hallway out of the building.
Okay, that cannot go so fast.
As you start heading out to the Sage's Quill Tavern. Gemma, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you'd be doing at 3 p.m. on a Monday.
Gemma is probably has found like a good tree to hang a ring in and is hanging out inside her vessel, like crafting like bullshit gemstones to sell to people.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Working away as you do.
Yeah, you're just like hanging out inside your vessel. It's real comfy in there. And you feel the vibration of your pager stone.
Yep, where did I put it? Right, yep, got it. Okay.
You pull it out, you pop it open, you see it is a message from your mother. It says, call me, urgent.
Yeah, just dial her up, I guess, and be like, all right, what's up?
Hey, are you busy?
Yes.
No, you hesitated.
Okay.
What do you... Actually, don't tell
worry
me.
about it.
Plausible deniability. Don't tell me what you're up to. I need to send you on an errand.
Okay. A fun one?
Depends on your definition of fun, but it seems more up your alley than mine. Because there might be some, I believe the phrase was sketchy shit happening. So,
Okay.
I thought you might enjoy that. Yeah, one of, it sounds like that that archaeological dig that I was keeping an eye on. Sounds like something went sideways. Yeah. So, if you could head over, one of my contacts from that group that I sometimes freelance for is going to be meeting with a whole group at the Sage's Quill Tavern to fill you in and.
Do I contact I know already? Who am
Honestly, I'm not sure which contact they're sending, so it might be one of the ones you've met.
Okay. I'll just find people gathering at a tavern and
You'll recognize it. There's gonna be like a big old card with a golden key on it sitting on the table. That group. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Okay. Is in like 3 hours okay?
4 p.m. sharp, they said. You should be there at 3:55 to make sure that we make a good impression.
Great. All right, I'll get a start.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Please remember that if you're selling fake gems, spread them out throughout the city so that nobody can trace them back to you.
Obviously.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. I will hang up, pop out of the vessel, look around, grab the ring off this tree.
Give me a quick perception check just for funsies.
For fun. Ooh.
Yeah, just for the funsies.
18.
18. There's a real startled looking squirrel sitting in the tree that just saw you pop out of this ring. And he just kind of looks at you.
I offer it a crystal and then I walk.
It takes and scurries off sure, okay. Yeah.
Great.
And you head off to the tavern. Sloan. 3 p.m. on a Monday. Tell us about yourself and what you're doing.
I'm pretty sure Sloan would just be in the shop working on a commission. Very focused. Very all right. Yeah. Just super focused on whatever it is that they're doing.
Amazing. Yeah. I have to roll for something. That's fine. You're very, very focused, and just out of the corner of your eye, you see just the slightest bit of movement, like somebody has come into the shop, but is trying to be quiet.
Whoever you are, go away. Johnny, can you take care of this person?
I asked Johnny to step out, actually, because I thought we should probably talk in private. Sorry, I didn't mean to disrupt.
All right. You've disrupted, but that's okay. What's up? How can I help you?
I'm terribly sorry. You turn around and you see a very tall woman with white hair, kind of pulled back in a braid, and very nice but sturdy-looking clothing. Somebody who probably spends a lot of time traveling or outdoors, but also has the means to make sure that everything is, high quality. She's very pale with a little tinge of almost purple or blue at the tips of her long elven ears and the tips of her fingers that is certain moon elves kind of tend toward this vibe. And she just looks and smiles at you and is like, I'm dreadfully sorry to interrupt. I know how important the work is. I used to patronize this establishment a great deal when your predecessor was here.
Oh, yeah. Well, how can I help you? Long-term friend of the shop. I'd love to be of assistance if I could.
Well, yes, honestly, it's the shop that is the reason we came to you. I understand you have a great deal of knowledge about jewels, gems, artifacts, that sort of thing.
Yes, I do. Is this something specific you're looking for, or?
Yes, as a matter of fact. A very valuable gem that isn't a gem.
A gem that isn't a gem?
Yes. The kind of gem that can put a great deal of people in a great deal of danger if they don't take care of it. And since they haven't listened to more traditional forms of warning, we've decided to simply bypass the system. She kind of looks around, goes over to the front door of the shop, flips the closed sign and turns the lock, and then walks back over to you, pulls out a business card, hands it to you. It has printed on it, a golden key, and the name Taiga.
Is the symbol familiar to me?
You have seen this before, several times, in fact. Your master, who taught you all of your gem working ways, had several of these cards with their name on it, and had several of these cards with other people's names on it that were exchanged in transactions. There were probably times that you were manning the counter while they were working, and you were handed one of these along with payment or along with an item that was being brought in as part of the transaction.
Oh, okay. Does this one have this one has the name on it, it's Taiga?
Yes, Taiga. Taiga. Taiga, like the forest.
And are you Taiga?
Yes, Priscilla Taiga, to be precise.
Oh, nice to meet you.
There's a few of us, but I'm probably the only one you're really going to run into outside of... I don't know how much you travel in courtly realms. The rest of my family is much more higher ranking than I am.
Got it. Okay. So do I have any idea what she's talking about? This gem that isn't a gem that is being misused in some way?
Not I mean, you're familiar with like false gems, right? Counterfeiting and things like that. This particular thing could mean a lot of things.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that you want me to take a look at some kind of gem to assess its value, or...
Sort of. I think perhaps, would you like to get a drink?
Sure, yeah. It's a little early for me, but, sure?
It's on the house, or the company, as it were. She reaches into a bucket and basically pulls out like a gold credit card.
Nice.
Slips it back in her pocket. No, there's a few of us who are going to be meeting to discuss the, situation. And, your master was very involved in our organization, helped us out a great deal with matters that, let's just say legally we shouldn't be involved in.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, no, it's one of those, yes.
Right, okay, I wasn't sure because you got the whole elegant thing going on and...
Oh, yeah, we can get into that at some point. It's very useful when people don't expect you to be the shady one in the family and you are, so...
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely up for that drink.
Excellent. Let's go. I think everyone should be getting there around 4 p.m.
All right. And I will follow.
And you guys head out. 4 p.m. rolls around as everyone makes their way to the Sage's Quill Tavern. Everybody converges variously. Does anybody specifically want to show up early or intentionally show up late?
I will show up exactly 5 minutes before, not a moment earlier, not a moment after.
As per your mother's instructions.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, blood is maybe a little late. It's hard to walk in all those layers, and then they will have to, go to the bathroom and take off everything.
Yeah, get inside.
Vlad is probably a few minutes late.
Sure.
Can you describe this outfit? As those of us who would be in the tavern.
Yeah, what?
Like all black. Like lots of leather layers and like hood and like goggle and gloves, boots. Yeah,
I pictured like medieval beekeeper that's solid black. Just
that's
fully
good
covered.
too. Yeah, all of the above.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering where you put all of that. Do you just like store it in the bathroom?
Oh, well, buddy assistant. I don't know.
The rabbit does as you like peel it, does like kind of pile everything up very neatly for you, being very careful not to pierce holes in your clothing with
Good folding technique.
incredibly sharp teeth. Yeah, surprisingly good at folding things for a rabbit about yay big.
Did you work at Abercrombie and Fitch?
You realize that the bag that the rabbit had smells vaguely of Axe, which
Oh
is
my
concerned.
god, definitely. Oh.
Everyone's suddenly less impressed with this rabbit.
It's okay, he just quit his job.
But anyway, as you arrive, so probably Stuart and Gemma are the first to arrive. Stuart, you arrive with Mira, and she walks you in and points to a table over in the corner where you see there is like a little, much like the classic Friends Couch reserved sign, there's like a little like kind of reserved card that does indeed have a little golden key printed on it that matches the emblem on her sheet of paper. And you see sitting at the table is a very nervous looking woman, dark skin, sort of like fidgeting with her locks a little bit. Bunch of books and papers kind of scattered. Looks very much like that like academic type that posted up at the coffee shop or the bar sort of thing.
So there's papers all over?
There's several papers and a stack of books. Big table though. Definitely a table that can seat like, 6 or 8 people. Currently she is the only one there.
Stuart goes up to the bar and gets a pitcher
Nice.
of ale and brings it over to the table. I'm sorry. I don't want to put this on the. What? I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, right.
Yes. Hello. I'm here. Let me pours a glass and sets it on the table next to it.
She seems thrilled to have something to do with her hands and just immediately starts doing that like weird paper shuffle thing of like trying to like rein everything in and kind of stack it up, and then realizes that she's now disorganized it and has to kind of resort. Just like,
Everything is fine.
No, yeah, no. Please sit down. Please sit down. You're welcome to. Mira, are you staying? And she kind of waves, and Mira just goes, no, I actually should probably head back to work, but I'm sure you all have this, and I'm sure your contact will be here shortly to wrap everything up. Have fun. Thanks, Stuart.
Bye, Mira.
She takes off.
She's one of the good ones, you see.
Oh yes, yes. I've known her mothers for a very long time. They're a very lovely family. Really a shame about how the offices tried to pin that embezzlement on them, but I'm glad they worked their way out of it.
Yes, well, corruption.
Oh, yes, it's rampant, as they say. Right about this point, Gemma, you.
What's
are-
rampant?
The corruption in the elites and the city governments.
Very corrupted. Yeah, like slide in with a glass of my own. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, welcome, Stuart Shonnery.
Oh, Gemma,
Nice to meet you.
you as well.
Hi.
And you are
I'm Dr. Danelle.
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 Wonderful. Lovely to
doctor,
meet you, Doctor.
great. I've had this rash.
Different kind of
it's-
doctor, unfortunate. Wait, sorry, actually, what kind of rash? I might be that kind of doctor,
it
now
is,
that you mention it.
It's fine. It's nothing. It's fine. It's burned.
What?
It burns. It's fine.
Once we're done talking about this, we can see if maybe that's
Right.
related. Yeah, I think we're expecting at least 1 or 2 more. At this point, I think Vlad appears from the disrobing.
He
and
sees
might
the
literally
golden
appear.
key. He's very perceptive.
Yeah.
And then he walks, they straight over. Oh, hello, new colleagues! Okay, my name is Vlad. I am a totally normal human criminal ready to make heist.
What?
And then Vlad will look around. At full volume, Vlad says this.
There is no criminals here. No criminals.
Everybody, give me a quick perception check.
Am I there yet?
You can give me a perception check. You're about to walk in. so.
Dirty 20.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
For a total of 23.
16.
16.
16.
Shark's chain. Sean Connery.
As Vlad says this at full volume, everybody, including you who have just walked through the door, Sloan, you hear this said at full volume, everybody immediately looks around. You realize that aside from the bartender, there is no one else in this bar. Which is weird, because happy hour just started. And you're right next to a university.
It's kind of empty in here.
It wasn't me.
Priscilla, who is walking with you, goes, "Oh no, that's it wasn't you. That was us. Actually, I thought we would want some privacy. Hello, everyone. I see we all found the correct table. Well done. We're good at shapes.
There's no
Why
one
the
else here.
reserved? Yeah, why the reserved table?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused about that too. You need a reserved table in a bar
Also,
that you
there is golden triangle on that table, golden square circle on that table.
So, one of the least well-kept secrets of secret organizations is the fact that we all use the exact same drop points for our meetups.
It is why I call this place the Shady Quill. In watch circles.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it used to be a college hangout, which meant it was a great place for recruitment. And then we recruited too many college students into secret societies, and they all started going off and doing secret society things, and so now the place is constantly empty. So we have a pick of it. Welcome, everyone. Not to be cliche, but I suppose you're all wondering why you've been gathered here, and it's because,
Corruption.
You're not entirely incorrect.
I mean, heist, right?
I have
Sort
no
of.
idea why the fuck I'm here. To be completely honest, this lady just stepped in my shop and told me she'd buy me a drink, so I'm here for drinks, I guess?
I will, in fact, buy you drink. Dave, everyone is on my tab. And the bartender looks and goes, obviously, and continues cleaning the
Thanks, Dave.
the bar. How many of you have already been inducted into the Golden Vault?
If that is what you could call it. Have not had many work assignments. First day of work, technically.
Ah, yes. You must be Vlad.
How did you know?
I was. She reaches into, like, very deep. She's wearing a satchel. She reaches in, like, basically all the way up to her shoulder, and then comes back out with a little notebook, flips it open, shows it to you guys. It has all of your names written down in it. They do give me a list of who I'm supposed to contact.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, welcome everyone to the Golden Vault. You can tell people that you work for us, but I wouldn't recommend it because a lot of people don't like us because we tend to operate outside the bounds of the law. Mostly because the law is kind of terrible in this city, incredibly corrupt, very difficult to get things done. Which is what brings us to today's little concern. For anyone who hasn't yet met, this is Dr. Cassie Daniel. She's a professor at, I always get this wrong, at Varkenbluff University, the big university that we're right next to. She's got a bit of a problem, which I guess I'll just turn it over to you. Oh, thank God. Hyacinth, get over here. And you see the rabbit comes scampering out from, like, the bathroom, dragging this bag, hops up, and, like, scampers up her leg, fully climbs up onto her shoulder, and starts, like, grooming her hair, and she's just like, oh, all right. I'm gonna go, to the bar. Flag me down if you need anything. Have fun. She walks over, sits at the far end of the bar away from you guys, puts the rabbit on the bar, and orders a drink.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So we do heist now.
Maybe some information
Yes.
first.
Perhaps yes.
I'm still really confused.
Honestly, first time I saw that, also confused. It only gets worse from here when they're around. I just stopped asking questions a while ago, but they're very helpful. Sort of. The rabbit's weird. She's fine, though. She's great. As she said, I'm Dr. Cassie Daniel, and I teach at Varkenbluff University. Mostly.
You're a doctor?
Yes.
See, I have this rash.
What kind of rash? Because I'm not usually that kind of doctor, but depending on the kind of rash, I might be that kind of doctor.
Can we just all, like, everybody who's got the rash, can we just get that out on a table now? And
I mean,
Do you have a rash?
I do a skin condition, not rash.
do you have
More
a
like burn.
Yes, I do have a rash.
See, we all got rashes.
Yes.
I
Is
do
this the rash
not. I don't.
I'm starting to wonder if Ms. Tyga brought me the wrong group.
I figure looking at this establishment that we are sort of the bottom of the barrel.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Vlad seems kind of cool.
Yeah, you hang out at the bottom.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
given what I'm about to explain to you guys, this is kind of making sense to me just from the general vibe I'm getting off of all of you. So why don't I just sort of, I teach anthropology, archaeology, and history at the university, and I also work with a lot of the, excavations and archaeological digs that are happening in the area. I don't know if you've heard about this, but there's recently they were breaking ground for a parking lot and discovered the ruins of an ancient civilization. So Historical Society swept in to say we wanted a chance to study it before they just paved it over, right? We were working on the Murkmire dig, as it's called, and discovered this gemstone. And obviously everyone was very excited. It looks incredibly valuable. It's got to have some sort of amazing origins. It was surrounded by all of these other carved objects, a lot of symbolism, possibly having something to do with ancient religion or ritual. Tons of interest, right? We could learn so much about our history and of the former peoples. But I was getting some, what do my students call it? Bad vibes?
Was there a book? And did you read from the book?
There were a couple of books, actually. I have read both of them.
Well, yes. Classic mummy.
Not out loud, I promise. I do know better than better than that.
Okay, so you want to steal gemstone then?
How? Okay, I guess I just have to come out with it because I just need you all to trust me. So in my line of work, it's very based on, facts and logic, history and the study of peoples and trying to not apply too much of our own interpretation. We're very logic-based. Lots of wizards, right? Lots of wizards, lots of books and studying. I personally also take a great interest in the arcane, but kind of, some people might call it just a variation of the arcane, and a lot of people would call it the occult. It's a particular hobby of mine. I try not to talk about it too much because a lot of my colleagues think it's bunk. Anytime you try to explain that you can, read, the future in the stars, and then they laugh at you, and then it turns out you can, become stars, and you actually can read the future, and then you end up with a lawsuit for discrimination against druids. But that's a whole different problem that happened. I don't think it's a gemstone. I think it's an egg.
Oh,
There's not really a good way to peel back the layers here. I've been getting weird vibes. People who have handled it have been getting kind of a little bit sick, and by a little bit I mean a lot. And I wanted to put it into isolation at the university for further research, but the university thought that I was doing my crazy thing again. I might have had a little bit of an incident a few years ago that involved some mental health time off, and so they went ahead and donated it to display at the museum, the Varkabluff Museum of Natural History, as the great, outstanding artifact of the dig. And I'm very concerned that more people are going to get sick, or worse, that maybe, there's one thing that eggs are pretty much known for doing, right?
What kind of an egg are we looking at here?
So
if it's like a dinosaur egg, we might be okay. If it's like an ostrich egg, that's yucky, but
I seem to recall it being a gem, perhaps.
It's egg for jewelry.
If we could just take a look at it, I could probably identify it.
So here's the thing. This is the one really useful thing. They are putting it on display at the museum. Tonight is a huge gala to celebrate with a bunch of fancy pants donors and benefactors and things like that. And I happen to have a bunch of tickets because they give them out to professors at the universities, and I just found colleagues that weren't going to be able to go, rounded up a few. So you can certainly go in and take a look at it.
And then we steal egg.
Honestly, yeah. Yeah, we need to get the egg.
Heist, yes.
Hopefully without getting sick.
Yeah, without getting sick, without dying, without getting caught, without anyone knowing that you talked to me, preferably, because that's gonna cause a lot of other problems, and also hopefully without it hatching, which I think it is due to do at midnight, probably tonight.
That's very specific.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of research on this for the last 2 weeks. If
Well, you
couldn't
look
tell-
in Star Future.
No, I'm not a
Oh, yeah.
druid. No. That was a student several years ago. I don't do divination. I have a cousin who does divination, but they're on the other side of the continent.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Sorry. Oh, no. Sloan, please.
I just wanted to go back to the question that what's your name?
Gemma.
Gemma. Gemma had a good question. What kind of egg do you think it is? Because if it's not a jewel, I don't know if I can identify it, and then we should probably know what kind of egg it is so we know what kind of thing we're dealing with if it hatches.
So here's the thing. Remember I mentioned that like one of my special hobbies is the occult?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is an egg of possibly an interdimensional creature or extra dimensional. The two, it's a very fine line between the extra, right? You know, because there's like the fae that cross between the planes, but then there's also like things from the astral sea that are extra, or are they also inter because it's all part of the dimensional? Anyway, the phrase eldritch horror came up in my research at one point. Again, was reading a bunch of those books that we found to see if there was any information about it. Starting to think that maybe those things that we found around it and near it were less of like a religious observance and maybe more of an encapsulation. So I started trying to replicate those runes, and I came up with this. And she reaches under the table and pulls up this massive crystal box. It looks like a big, like one of those like display cases that you put like a basketball in or something, just a big crystal box.
Where did that come from?
Shimmers.
That was not. That was not there.
I'm sorry. She reaches back on the table and pulls up a little like briefcase satchel thing. Bag of holding.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that design. That's a good design.
Yeah, no, it's very sleek, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but maybe it should have been crystal carton.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, for the egg.
Yeah.
I get it.
You know, if I had been less focused on the possible end of the world and more focused on puns, I probably would have gotten there eventually. I am famously humorless
I'm
with my
serious.
students.
It's like meant to hold eggs.
I see what you're saying, because if it rolls around in the box, it could disturb the egg somehow.
You know what? Here's the thing. I think the egg is more disturbed being outside of the box because that's why I think it's hatching. Whereas this replicates the runes that we found at the dig site that I think were keeping it from hatching. So hopefully, if we could, pop this open and just close it in, and it'll just chill for another 1,000 years or however long it's been under that dig site.
Did you also make like a replica to replace it with, or how are we?
Yeah, is it a switch or
Yeah,
is it just
switcheroo.
a steal?
All I
I bet the gift shop, they always make replica
Oh yeah.
of like what's like featured.
Do you have like a drawing of it? Because I maybe could whip something up.
I mean, I can do, my art skills are not super great. I could probably do a sketch, but also like, again, it's going to be on display starting tonight to the gala donors, and also we need to get it by tonight before anything worse happens.
Look, a party of 7 just entered the bar. Hi, Ray.
Hello, Raiders! Welcome! We are playing the first adventure from Keys from the Golden Vault.
Okay, hey, sorry, we're closed for private event.
Go away, please.
But stay if you could. You could stay.
A bunch of very confused college students kind of look at each other, and Dave like waves them and points them to like the party room in the back.
Thanks, Dave.
You got it!
Fast friends with Dave.
Yes.
He doesn't have a lot of other people to be friends with, to be fair.
So, given the current economy of eggs, I would think there are other groups that are out to also steal this egg.
Yeah, that's why we need to steal first.
Yes.
We steal to protect.
Yes, I mean, yes, this is absolutely about protection. I was more worried about, like, the attendance of the museum and also the city at large. But yeah, if you want to protect it from other heist crews, that works for me. I can work with that. That sounds great.
Now, wait, so now last time I was at this museum, they had like a touch display where you could like interact with the objects.
This is definitely not gonna be there, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I wish. I did also go and visit and try to make some notes for you all. So I did kind of sketch up this map for you.
Okay.
And this is, for you players, you are welcome to take this, mark it up, make notes, but this is what you are handed, is this hand-drawn map. Right here.
Or you can grab it, that's fine.
You can grab it whenever you're ready, but you were handed this hand-drawn map. It's sort of just based on my walkthrough and what I was able to kind of look up at the city hall of their like blueprints, so I don't know if it's fully accurate. Obviously a lot of things were locked, and I'm sure with the gala, there's going to be extra security and things because a lot of rich hoity-toities are going to be there. But I figure maybe if you all could, we kind of just need to go get it.
Yeah.
I can't be seen there. People know who I am, and they all think I'm crazy. I tried to bring this up to quietly and then rather loudly to some of the folks at the university, and they threatened to revoke my position. So I really would love to not seemingly be involved. If it could just seem like, you know, some folks saw an opportunity to steal a really big gemstone, that would be great. Obviously, you know, we'll pay you, and I think Ms. Taiga said we can get you some very limited resources, but really we just need some help before this gets really bad for everyone.
Okay. At first I thought that said murder stone. That's what we're going after. To me kind of is, right?
I mean, it could be if it hatches. I'm not sure what it's going to hatch into, but whatever it is ancient and not of this world. And that's usually a bad recipe. It might be like a cute and fluffy recipe, but usually it's more like a world eater sort of recipe in my studies and experience, at least.
So not just shitty wine, probably. Larger.
Potentially.
Right. Because, I mean, if they were, didn't believe you that this was a monster that would come out, maybe you just let the monster come out and then they would have to believe you.
But then how do you get the monster back in?
Well, I mean,
It's kind of...
we can just stay here at the...
Okay, so there is party tonight.
Yes.
What time does that start?
The gala itself starts at 8. The museum is open until about 7. I think they'll be closing it at 8 to, make time for the gala. There's, I think, a little bit of, hors d'oeuvre and cocktail hour before it starts. You know that, weird, like when you go to the amusement park and there's that strange half-hour crossover where they're shoving the plebes out before the special pass holders get to go to the event. That sort of thing seems to be how they usually run these events. I do have tickets. I can't help you with formal wear. I don't own any.
I have plenty of that.
Okay, great. Wonderful.
I mean, for myself.
Maybe we ask the fancy lady at the bar.
Oh, that's a good idea.
But anyway, and so she hands you these passes.
Do we know anything about security?
They have it.
Great.
I I wish I could tell you more. I did see a lot of security guards there. I get the impression that a lot of them are literal rent-a-cops. They're off-duty watch who are picking up an extra buck on the side by working at the museum. We have a few of those around the university too. Or they're, retired and wanted to pick up some extra work, that sort of thing.
It's possible I know some of these. Watch.
That'll be a good connection, for sure.
Maybe. Oh.
So then we not kill them.
Oh, yeah, preferably we don't kill anyone.
Yeah, I think that'll announce our presence in a way that is not desirous.
You could probably also, I do know their curator. Alda Arkin is the curator there, and I'm sure she has records of how many guards they have on staff, where they're stationed, all that sort of thing. She's very meticulous about that sort of thing.
Are these things that she would keep on her person, or are they things that she would keep in a filing cabinet?
Knowing how uptight she is, probably both.
Something she would like to share? Or something we need to pick?
Oh, pre-heist.
A pre-heist before the actual heist. Yes.
I mean,
A pre-heist heist.
based on my experience with her, she's not big on sharing.
What-
She likes credit and attention. So,
Oh, okay. We can probably use that.
yeah,
Any specific kind of attention?
any as long as it's fully focused on her.
Okay, so flattery.
Yes, flattery would work exceptionally well. You absolutely all, even without rolls, are able to get the vibe of there is not good blood between these two individuals.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do we know anything about museum admission? Like, could we go in for free and get a look at the place before?
Oh, no, absolutely.
Not that I don't trust your map. It would just
No,
be-
you probably shouldn't trust my map. I was sketching it very quickly and sort of on the fly while I was walking through, pretending to be a patron and hoping I didn't run into anyone who knew me. Yeah, it should be open until. The museum itself should be open until about 8 p.m. When the major part of the gala kicks off. Like I say, I think there's sort of an overlap, that hors d'oeuvre cocktail hour that happens starting a little bit earlier. You should probably just take these with you. And she picks up her big crystal container, opens up this much smaller satchel, and just like Mary Poppins shoves it into the satchel, just kind of disappears. You can certainly take this with you. If you're planning to take in any like weapons or anything like that, they do bag search, and we'll check at the door. But if you have this, they're only gonna find like, just like plant a knife you don't care about in there, because that's what they're gonna be thinking about or a glass bottle. They really hate it when you take glass bottles in, so they'll find that before they
What
find
about
anything
snacks?
else. Oh no, yeah, gum. Put gum in there. They won't find anything else. They will confiscate the gum though.
Glass bottle.
Oh, glad I thought you
Yes.
meant snakes.
I mean that too, but okay.
That's gonna be a problem for me.
Yeah, gum is total snack that Vlad was thinking of.
I'm sorry, I work with a lot of, very young, very dumb students, so there's a lot of time spent scraping gum off of desks.
Well, yeah, no, totally normal human snack.
All right. I mean, so let's say this goes off and we get the things we need to get, and we put it in the box, and then where do we go? How do we get in touch with you? What do you want to put?
Just, you could just meet me back here. Again, the only people who are ever in here are other members of, like, weird, sketchy secret societies or very drunk college kids.
Okay.
So, like, honestly, a bunch of kind of... a very mismatched group of people showing up and sketchily handing off an item to somebody else is really not gonna raise any flags around here. That's kind of just a normal night.
Okay.
All right.
I like this scene.
Yeah, if you want drugs, this is also a great place to, just for the record.
Got it.
Yeah, no, so many drugs, all the drugs. I don't personally use them mostly because I've already got, like, sleep deprivation issues, because of the research. But, yeah, they're all over the place. Dave can tell you, and Dave just, like, again, waves.
How many is Dave a part of the secret clubs?
Are you asking the doctor or are you...
I'm asking the doctor, but I'll say it loud enough that Dave can hear.
The doctor looks and goes, Dave just walks over to your table, puts another pitcher of ale down, and basically kind of brushes his hair back to reveal where the side shave is, and he's just got like a whole series of little tattoos with different symbols. There's a key, there's a little triangle, there's like a weird kind of upside down half circle with an X through, whatever. And he's like, Yeah, if you need anything, just flag me down. Heads back behind the bar.
Excellent. Gotta take a bit to maintain.
He's pretty shady, Dave character.
Hey, Dave's all right. He's cool.
Dave's alright.
He does have a very cool haircut, or at least that's what I am told by my students.
Very cool. Can confirm.
Right.
Yes. I have a shoot at my apartment. I need to go get.
I'm wondering though if we can get you in as a rent-a-cop.
Well, I can also probably sneak in. I still have my uniform.
Yeah. Have someone on the inside. You look official. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But will they wonder why you're back?
But, I mean, it might not have been the cleanest of breaks.
Right, but if they need extra help for the big gala.
Yeah.
Right.
And maybe nobody needs to know that I wasn't hired. They just show up,
Yeah.
blend in.
Because it's not an official watch assignment, right? It's just extra work on the side that they can pick up.
Again, you can absolutely borrow the bag of holding, and just if you want to take disguises. I don't know how you people operate, so just anything that you wouldn't want to be seen carrying in, you could take in. Actually, and she moves back. She starts like reaching in, rummaging through, pulls back out the like crystal container, reaches in, pulls out like a couple of file folders. She's like, you don't need those in there. Just handful of pens that are just rattling around loose. And as she's doing it, she kind of looks at the container, and then starts immediately just hyper fixated, like tracing the runes on the container, and muttering to herself for a minute. At which point you see, as she's doing this, Priscilla, slowly makes her way down the bar to the end that's, near you guys, kind of watching. Everything all right, Doctor? Which sort of snaps her out, and she goes, okay, new plan, worst plan. I need to take this back to the university. These are incorrect.
Oh.
So we're just supposed to pick
Just
it up?
just throw it in the bag and bring it here. Because you have to get it out by midnight, which should be plenty of time for me to buff these out and re-engrave them. Don't do your work at the last minute in the middle of the night, kids. Write your essays in advance.
Is pocket dimensioning the extra dimensional egg without protection?
Honestly, I've never done it before, so I don't know.
Okay. Texting my mom under the table like, you really know how to pick up.
You see Priscilla also looks a little concerned and is like, I mean, if we're only doing it briefly to get, it should be fun. Which kind of extra dimensional are we talking about here? And Dr. Daniel goes fully back into her spiel. You see Priscilla just nodding, okay.
Yes, perhaps we should take the map and have come up with a game plan.
I think that's a good idea. I do have one quick question though for the doctor before she leaves. People who got sick after they touched it, did they touch it just with the bare hands and they got sick? Did anybody put a cloth on it? Were they wearing gloves?
So let me confirm, because I have this information. Where is it?
I'd love to check out the
so
source while we're there.
What seemed to be happening is after people had been around it for a certain amount of time, they would suddenly have this sort of, maybe illness isn't great, an effect would occur. It was a little bit different every time, and it seemed to start out very sporadically and very erratically, and then the longer we had it, the more consistent and closer together these incidents occurred. I suspect that it is going to get stronger and stronger and more frequent as it gets closer and closer to, as I predict, hatching at midnight. Again, this is how I did most of my calculations based on, some of the ancient stories of how the monsters appeared out of the Eldritch Murk and stuff like that. So,
Also Cinderella.
yes, midnight very important. Everything reverts back to its original form, which in this case is some sort of horrifying monster, possibly from outer space.
Oh god, now all the fairy tales make sense.
Yeah, okay.
If it does hatch, we should not feed it after midnight, though.
Probably
Although,
a good
if it-
idea
I like
not
this
to
man.
feed it at all.
I think if it hatches, it's probably going to feed.
I think if it hatches, we're
We're dead.
kind of fucked, you know?
Okay.
Right.
Okay, last question. Can little bunny rabbit come with us?
Little bunny rabbit is not behaving himself at the moment and also needs to feed, unfortunately. So I don't... he can be on call. I don't think they allow animals in the museum, though, so he might have to be a
Service
little
animal.
stealthy. I'm pretty sure he doesn't qualify, unfortunately. I think they only allow service familiars at this point, and he's unfortunately a little too...
Oh. Emotional support, murder bunny.
I mean, I do feel very supported by him 98% of the time.
Is that the 2% when he comes with other people on adventure? Heist?
She looks. You guys all look down the bar where the rabbit is, who's kind of down back, and you see that he's like got his face in like a little dish that has been set for him, and he just sits up, and you just see like red liquid dripping off of his chin as he grins at you.
Oh, that looks good.
What?
What? Okay.
You like Chablis?
Who's that?
Right. Okay.
I think it's a wine. It's not a person.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I drink that all the time. Oh,
Are you the person we should talk to about costumes?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, I might have. She sort of looks. It's like I might have something that would fit some of you from my personal items, but I don't really have those kinds of. Costuming isn't really my expertise. I'm more about information gathering. So you might have to fend for yourselves on that, unfortunately.
Do we have a budget?
yeah, what is
It's like the
reimbursement
question.
like?
Yeah. What's the reimbursement rate?
Credit system?
No credit. The company card is really only good for alcohol. We're working on changing that. There was an incident a few years ago. It's a long story. If you can successfully achieve this, 20 gold for everyone.
Each.
Wait,
Yes,
expenses or
payment.
oh, damn, that's so low. Okay, so
I feel like if we have more experience, we would get more.
Yeah,
gold.
you do realize this is also really kind of a trial run.
Is this like an exposure thing?
okay, so
I mean, you want us to go into a full
I'm hoping
event.
there's not going to be any exposure. That usually involves bail money afterwards.
then
So
pre-heist.
we need some clothes to get in. I mean, you want us to go into a formal event with no formal clothing. I don't know
Do
what
none
you
of
want
you
us
own
to do.
formal wear?
What? Oh,
I mean,
goodness.
I'm traveling.
I do, but like, could use a new suit, you know.
Well, that's why you get paid after the job. Have none of you worked jobs before? You've worked jobs before. You understand that you do work.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
own
for
a
sure,
shop.
Right, yes, so I didn't think this was that out of the... You do remember the part where we're technically just barely not a criminal organization that's working outside of the realm of the law in hopes
Right.
of trying to, save the world.
Yeah, I've been working in that realm. Usually I have retainer.
I will bring your concerns up with the management the next time they deign to talk to me.
Yes, I would love to speak to the manager.
Yeah, it's okay.
Hi, honestly, I've been leaving him voicemails for months.
Cherish?
So my shoot will actually blend in because it is
Okay, yeah, you are
designed for
fine.
this sort of. That's what all the other
You're-
guards.
You're set.
You're
yeah.
fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, Vlad has full wardrobe, but
Full wardrobe.
I don't really... You see Priscilla kind of flips open her bag and starts kind of rummaging through her similar sort of like satchel-looking thing. She's like, I don't really, starts to lift something out that looks very gauzy and floofy. You guys immediately see like a massive hole with a blood stain. She just like rolls her eyes and shoves it back, and that's not going to work anymore. Pulls out 2 bottles and is like, I've got potions.
What do they do?
This one heals.
Oh.
This one also heals. And this one has unlimited coffee.
Coffee.
Yes.
Okay.
Anybody want coffee? I mean, it's really.
I'm off caffeine at the moment.
I could just get another pitcher of ale. It's fine.
Is it good coffee?
I mean, I like it.
I'll take the coffee.
Well, you now have a bottle of boundless coffee.
Nice.
I drink the coffee.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Is it warm coffee or is it the iced variety?
Yes.
Ooh,
Whichever you like.
Oh.
I think right now it's warm. It's like a pleasant. Yeah. It's warm. It's nice. It's a little sweet. I like it.
May I borrow that for a moment?
Sure.
I'm going to
I
think
like wipe off the.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a glass and think of scalding hot coffee.
Yep.
And pour it in to see what comes out.
You almost burn your hand on the cup.
That's scalding hot coffee. That could be an escape plan.
Oh my god, that's a great idea.
Oh.
Just right in the face.
This guy. Big
good.
thinker.
Just turns to you, Gemma, and since you're the only one not like very in on the coffee thing, just goes, these are just healing potions, just normal healing potions. You might want to hang on to those. I don't.
Vlad is gonna go over to the Hyacinth, our little bunny rabbit, just whisper. Vlad is asking Hyacinth to go fetch their nice outfit.
Hyacinth like sits up, like bunny's you on hands, puts her paws up, and then flips them over.
Oh, okay. Priscilla, I think Hyacinth wants coin. It's part of budget, right?
Hyacinth, are you trying to shake down the people who work for us?
No, just you.
He's mine! Look, if you're not going to behave yourself, you can go to the timeout bag. At which point Hyacinth makes like a grumpy face and hops directly into her satchel.
Okay, well, I will have to go back to get a nice outfit, so.
I mean, the museum doesn't fully close until 8 p.m., so you do have time to go find yourselves clothing or supplies.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we make plan?
Yeah. I think we should.
Meet back here?
Yeah.
Maybe
Whoa.
should we just make a plan now?
Well, maybe let's go check out the place, scope it out a little bit more, see if we can get some more information. Again, not this in your map.
Oh,
And,
no, again, I'm aware that it is quite incomplete.
And then I don't know, go get dressed, and after we make a plan. I just feel like we should look at the place first.
Oh yeah, like totally normal human tourist and pretend like we look at.
Yes, tourists, that's a great cover to just go in as tourists,
I love
and
this
then you can have and you can use the gala tickets. You can see the doctor kind of is dipping back in this conversation, but he's like very focused on like figuring out what is wrong with these runes on the side of this case.
You know, if we went in before the gala, there will be less people there. We just take it and run.
Let's go see. I mean, museum is open to general public right now.
I-
Yeah, that like lull.
The
they might
gem
be
doesn't
prepping.
go on display to the public until tomorrow, so wherever they've got it for the gala
Oh.
tonight is the first preview. That's the whole point of the gala, is that the rich bigwigs get to see it before anybody else.
So it's
Okay,
not on
so-
display now.
We go to museum. We can scope out little hidey holes. Maybe pre-heist. Get plans.
If the opportunity
Yeah.
presents itself.
I don't know anything about heists, but, you can get a sense of whether you need to, break in after it closes, or if you want to just try to hide in there before it closes. I saw a play like that once, where they like hid in the place before they robbed it.
Yes.
Does anyone know how to do illusions?
Oh, let me remember.
An
minor.
Maybe an image.
I
Even
do
a
have-
minor image of sorts.
Yes.
This is actually something that I had a question about.
Yes.
For my magical tinkering,
Uh-huh.
I was going to ask if I would like to have created like a necklace or a piece of jewelry of some sort that has like some detachable, like maybe just like a glass disc that I could cast those like, or yeah, the magical tinkery things on.
Yeah.
Is
No,
that okay?
That's totally fine.
Okay.
Whatever you want to have done, we will just hand wave, because again, you own your own shop, you've got loads of time to yourself, so you could have been just messing around with stuff earlier today, and that happens to be what you have. So,
Cool.
yeah, we can play fast and loose with that, given that you don't have a lot of resources anyway.
Wait, but we have tickets to gala, yes?
Yes.
So don't really need to hide, because we have ticket.
Just you just have to meet the dress code.
There's a cafe, so if we need more coffee, there's some.
I mean,
We
we've
have
got
an endless
endless coffee. We can open our own cafe.
Yep.
We should go into business together. I like this idea.
Okay, so we go to museum then.
Yeah.
Oh, what time is it?
It's about 4:30.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we should take the tickets now in case the doctor is
Yeah.
distracted later.
Oh, as soon as you all leave this room, I'm going to take this back to my office at the university, lock myself in, and try to correct the runes, because if you do manage to get me the stone egg thing and get it back to me, and this is not fixed, then it will not solve the problem of keeping it from hatching. This is what we need in order to contain the actual problem. So I'm going to be unavailable as soon as you all leave this room.
Okay.
Okay.
At which point, Ms. Taiga will be your contact for the rest of the night.
Okay. Who's gonna hold on to ticket? Who is most responsible for
I mean,
gala?
Okay.
There's one for each of you. You can each take your own, unless you don't trust yourself to hold on to it, in which case.
I'll
Like traveling with airplane ticket.
Would I?
Yes, thank
Do you need
Okay.
one if you're a guard?
I just in
Yeah, okay, I'll take my ticket.
Okay.
Would Sloan know of anyone in thieving circles that would have disguises that we could pilfer from?
Roll me a, we'll call it a history check with advantage. See if you can think of anybody in your contact.
Can I use, as she says that, kind of shout out some places that I may know to give her advantage?
Yeah, sure.
Be like, oh, no, this guy's totally shady.
Okay, so 13.
13. You can think of a couple of people that you've worked with before. I mean, again, most of the shadier work that you've done has been involved, like cutting down or disguising, like cutting down gems, melting down metals, like, remaking jewelry and things like that. But some of those folks seem like they probably dabble in maybe like fine silks and brocades, like stuff where it's like the very valuable fabrics that they need, that they would also need like turned over into other garments or things like that. So you definitely know a handful of people that you could reach out to.
Well, I know a guy who knows a guy, and I know another guy, and they could help us with the costuming.
You also know there's a handful of like these like kind of street urchin kids that roam around that you sometimes hire for errands. Like the very standard like, hey kid, run a message and I'll buy you lunch sort of situation thing. There's a bunch of those kids around. You think they're all affiliated probably to like one sort of Oliver Twistian group. You definitely feel like you could easily rustle up a couple of them and send them out to network for you to help like cover more bases at once.
Okay. So, does everybody know the measurements? You need fancy things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Write them down.
You need.
I'm covered.
You're okay. And you're gonna be a god. Okay, cool. Do you know your measurements?
Hand you a paper. There you go.
I'll write down my measurements really quick. Any preferences of color, shape?
Whatever they've got, that's easy, I guess, at this point.
I'm gonna sort of assess Gemma's current style and try as best as possible to.
You've got like a light gray marble complexion, a slightly darker gray hair, a bright purple eye and a bright yellow eye, and like whatever she dug out from under the bed this morning, honestly.
Fully in like leggings and a
Yeah.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna write that down, and then I'm gonna specify for myself blues and suit, and then I'm gonna step outside, and I'm gonna can't do the whistle, but I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Sloan's gonna do the whistle.
Yeah, you do the whistle, and like literally within seconds, you see this like little dwarven teenager with like the like very patchy, just coming in beard like pop out from around the corner.
Hey, Petey.
Hey, what's up?
I got some errands for you.
Oh yeah, what kind of errands?
I need some clothing.
Clothing. I haven't done
Very-
clothing in a minute. All right.
Very
we gotta do some clothing.
specific clothing.
Very specific.
Fancy.
I can do fancy clothes. I was gonna say, if you need anything with a lot of like straps and construction, I definitely got your guy. Fancy's a different guy, but I got one.
Okay, I'll talk to you about the straps guy later.
Cool, yeah.
Okay, here you go.
Thank you. Ooh, all right. Kind of like glances you over and just like, I like it. All right, where should I meet you? Back at your shop, back over here, somewhere neutral? I could do a drop in the trash can by the fountain if you prefer.
If it's empty.
I mean, always if it's empty. If it's full, then we can use the backup drop.
Okay. Yep, that sounds good.
All right, 45 minutes?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Cool, I'll do my best.
Thanks, Petey. You're the greatest.
You always got my back. Scurries off.
Do we know whose offices these are, or are they just maybe offices?
Question mark, so.
Dr. Danielle will just tell you that those were locked doors that were inaccessible to the public.
Okay.
So, best guess is offices, but not sure.
So, do we go museum?
Go check
I
it out.
think, yes, we should walk. I have been there. In my recollection, does this map look accurate?
The floor plan itself looks fairly correct.
They do.
There's a lot of missing, like you've been there, so you can tell there's a lot of missing details. But overall, the like large open rooms versus the kind of smaller galleries and things, roughly what you remember.
Okay. They do change exhibits, and sometimes they remodel between and put new corridors and whatnot.
Well, how much is museum admission?
I believe it's free.
Oh, yeah.
You've never been to the Natural History Museum? They have an Allosaurus.
I mean, lots of these things I saw in other contexts. Not in museum.
They do close in the evening. Anyway, perhaps we should go.
Yeah, Petey's gonna be done with the clothes in about 45 minutes. So we got 45 minutes to kill before we got questions.
Okay, I'll catch up with you all.
Where should so?
Vlad needs to go redressed.
Let's go ahead
Do
and
we
do a
want
full
to, just as we're browsing, do we want to like split up, cover more ground?
Yes, we
We
split.
I
wanna...
think that's a good idea.
Great.
Okay. So you all are going to spread out your various ways, pick up certain things, head to the museum, and reconvene. Is anyone taking the offer of Dr. Danielle's bag of holding
Yes.
to be able to hide stuff in?
Maybe somebody,
Yeah.
if somebody wants it.
I'll take it again.
It clashes with my style.
I think it fits Sloan's idea of a nice blue suit.
Yeah. As you guys kind of start to go your separate ways, whatever, Sloan, right as you get ready to leave, Priscilla kind of catches your sleeve and goes, sorry, I did forget, but I just found this. I believe this was not meant to stay with me, and since I don't know how to get a hold of your
partner, I think perhaps you should have it. It might prove useful at some point. And hands you a little ring. You look at it. The craftsmanship is familiar. It looks like something that your master that you trained from might have crafted.
Does it have any engravings on it?
It does. It has some little kind of runic engravings that you recognize as arcane sigils of the schools of magic.
Okay.
If you would like, you can roll me an Arcana check or an investigation check.
I would like to do that. Okay, cool. Arcana. There we go. Wait, is investigation higher? No, it's
That's always the question.
13?
13.
Yes, 13. Bye.
You have not seen one designed in this exact style, but you think based on the runes that this might be a ring of spell storing.
Okay. Cool. Very, very cool. All right. Well, thank you, I guess.
You're welcome. Like I say, I don't think I was meant to keep it. It was given to me on loan, in case I needed it. Very long ago. Never needed it. Not sure what it's got going on for it, but maybe you'll find it useful.
I think we will. Thanks. I will not put it on. I will put it away.
Yeah.
For now.
Tuck it in your little Frodo Baggins pocket, out of sight. And as you all split off to gather your things and prepare to reconvene and do some reconnaissance, this is where we're going to take a brief break. Thank you, everyone. Please stick around. We will be back as soon as 5 people can use 1 bathroom, approximately. Chat amongst yourselves. Throw your theories in the comments. Whatever. I can Brennanly mulligan this. Get in the comments. And we will be back as soon as we can. See you all shortly. Bye.
Bye.